think.
All right,
Gentlemen, ready?
ready to go?
I am
As ready as can be.
ready.
All right, then. On 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Floor 6.
All right. Welcome to Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, everybody. What's cool about this game is you already have some speed tech going on in the first 30 seconds here. The strategy is to mash B for a while, and then mash A, and that's about it.
That seems appropriate, yeah.
There's a little bit of storyline here, and then they're going to fight the first enemy, the Behemoth. And it's ironic that this game is supposed to be catered to people who were not so great at RPGs, but you can actually die, and die horribly, and die a lot to this.
And they will too.
Someone's bound to die here.
Yeah. I mean, what a game where the first boss is one of the easiest to die to.
The dream here is to get a crit, and then a regular attack. The Behemoth has 100 hit points. I see Farrell got a crit there. Nice.
He always does in races. What the hell, dude? I'm just that good.
Otherwise,
I can
you gotta
see the
get...
frames.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed, but I made it.
Voltuz probably would have died there if he hadn't hit.
Wow, so nobody died to the Behemoth then.
Oh man, this is it.
What game are you guys playing? What have you done
That's
this
a bad
Yeah, I don't
moment.
know.
Like,
This is not what we signed up for.
Just to give you an idea, like I think we all had parts where we died easily, like 5 or 6 times in a row to this guy.
Because all it takes is like one miss or like a crit by the Behemoth to kill you.
Yeah.
If you get crit, you're gonna die guaranteed. Otherwise, you have to miss something like 4 times or.
3 times. 3 missed assist deaths.
Yeah. So here we're gonna get our first party member. One of the major mechanics here of the speedrun is the companion glitch, if you want to call it that. If you load up a save towards the end of the game when you have your last companion, she has awesome immunities and stats and whatnot. And if you reset and then load up a new game, it will actually transfer those late game stats to your companion here in the new game. So it's actually kind of like a new game plus-ish sort of thing that can't be helped even if you really wanted it or didn't want it. So even though Kaylee here is level 3, she'll have all the immunities and resistances and whatnot that level 30 some odd Phoebe at the end would have.
Some kind of like magic buff too. Didn't she get because of the glitch?
Not sure.
She gets the equipment basically, which means all of the benefits of the equipment too. So Phoebe has some equipment that increases speed, some equipment that increases magic and attack. So all our companions are gonna have those as well. Because usually, if you have Kaylee as the secondary party member, she is really, really, really slow. Especially noticeable later on in Pazuzu's tower. She would be slower than every enemy in the tower. But thanks to the glitch, we can make her faster.
Yeah, and the only way you'd be able to play this game without that glitch would be to reset every time your party changes. Oops.
Yep, pretty much.
Can't help but notice I'm the only person who changed window colors. That's what's going on here.
I'll change it just for you. I don't even know what red is though, and Jenya has to pick red as well. Dang it! What are
You
we
could
gonna
do
do?
well.
with
You could
that?
do the colors in the layout. It's your green, Megas.
I'm not a trash can.
And Volta's is blue.
yeah, Team Ice Golem is blue background. So less, no work.
You want to explain how you were able to one-shot that Minotaur too?
Yeah, it's very simple. This game, the US release was the first release of this game, so it's basically the first version to ever release. And they made a couple mistakes in the programming process. One of the biggest mistakes is the life spell that Kaylee has access to right there. Instead of actually doing what it's supposed to do on enemy, it's classified as a zombie attack, so it can actually instantly kill anything that you targeted on. And the Minotaur, fortunately, even though the boss music plays, it's not targeted, not flagged as a boss actually, so you can instantly kill it with the life spell, which is very handy.
They fixed that actually in the Japanese version and in
Exactly.
the European version.
Later releases, like the European release and the Japanese release, they have that fixed, that little error.
But for some reason you can do the life spell on the boss in here. So in the Bone Dungeon.
Yeah, it makes sense because
Okay,
he's
so
undead, but yeah.
Yeah, this is a rare game where the North American version is glitchier than the Japanese version. But it's for the same reason, because the English version came out first. Because Square didn't think that English speakers could handle Final Fantasy V, so we got this game instead.
They made the right choice. This is
Definitely
vastly superior.
Oh my god, looks like Genya is getting some good RNG here.
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude.
Yeah. So I know
So-
for these fights in the Bone Dungeon, you want to get like what is it, 1 or 2 enemies?
Yeah,
Um,
maximum of
I
2.
ideally everything one, but
Yeah.
you want to kind of get a little experience, so 1 or 2 encounters with 2 enemies is preferred. But yeah, in an ideal setting, you get like everything 1 enemy here.
Yeah, one of the things you'll notice about the Mystic Quest speedrun is since the mechanics are so simplistic, we really rely on a fair amount of RNG to go your way, whether it's enemy packs or enemies or bosses hitting a certain person and not the other person and whatnot. So there's a lot of luck involved here, which is why this is the greatest speed game of all time.
No kappa.
No, yeah, I 100% believe my words there.
Big doesn't lie, man.
I'll change my window color. You got red, Genya, right?
I did red, yeah.
Okay. I'll think of something before Rex. I've actually no
So
idea
this-
how the window colors work in this game.
Luckily, there's only like 10 options.
I only know purple because I do it every time I run this game.
I only know pink because I keep doing it on accident.
Yeah, that one I know too.
So just about everybody has picked up the magical item known as the seed, which refills all your magic points. One of the things the players might be doing if their battle RNG isn't great and they hit a pack they don't want is they're going to try to dupe that seed. If you are able to keep using magic on all enemies, you just get to go a heck of a lot faster. So to have a bunch of seeds is the way to go. And the way that works is to select a seed and use it, and then back out and run. You get an extra one. Woo. And in this case, we want to be able to have full magic for Benjamin so that he can spam as many cures as possible on the boss.
Do we want to talk about the greatness that is floor 2 and floor 6 yet? Since people are already talking about that a lot in chat, or do you want to hold off?
I guess we can at the very least say there's a heavily RNG-based dungeon later on, which is Pazuzu's Tower, and that's not going to be for a while. But there's literally nothing you can do to control what floor the boss ends up on, and depending on what floor he's on, it could take you a couple of minutes to get to him, or like an extra 10. Which you can imagine at a top-tier speedrun is kind of insane.
Yeah, but you basically have a 20% chance to get the best possible route through the tower. Is what it boils down to.
But floor 6 is the best, floor 2 is the worst, and we can talk more about that when we get to the actual dungeon. But
Also, I want to point out that literally, and I'm not joking with that, literally every boss can in some way kill you in this game. Literally
Yeah,
every
I
single
died.
boss has a possible way of just killing it instantly.
Yep, I died
If
too.
they decide to.
Yeah, you really want this fight to go a pretty specific way. The more he uses Rip Earth or Earthquake or whatever it is, the more screwed over you get.
So yeah, but because they can just retry if they die, that kind of frees them up to be more aggressive than if it was the run was actually over if they died.
Yeah. And any of these players, had they died in PB attempts, would have reset for sure.
Yeah, this boss especially, because it's so early in the run and you're so weak, is very RNG dependent.
Yeah, because I think you're probably meant to be like level 7 or 8 by this point, because
Yeah.
like fighting the enemies in the dungeons and doing the battlefields and stuff.
Yeah. And he
Yeah, so I died
seems
as
to
well.
have more HP than you would think. Like his final form, it always takes longer to kill than I feel like other bosses once he gets to his final like sprite.
Yeah, because isn't it? Because it's like what, every quarter of their health that their sprite changes typically. If they have 4 total,
Oh man.
or does it vary by boss?
It does vary. It's not a quarter, but it's really weird actually. Most bosses have weird numbers where they change the sprite. I don't know. It really depends. Like
So
Hydra, for example, changes after like half damage, and then again after like he only has 1,000 HP left.
You need about 8 or 10 attacks in the first form, and in the last form you just need 2 attacks. So.
Dude, can I please get out of the spell? Dude,
Yeah.
he's not dead. Oh my god.
I am a strong boss, you know. The ultimate
God.
troll, one of them.
Farrell holding you back.
Yeah.
So Farrell, I guess, is the only one who got out of there without too much issue. But
Yeah.
one thing about this game is that can change pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Don't get attached until like the final boss, basically,
pretty much.
or the final boss starts to die because he control you too.
Oh yeah.
Your own guys control you on that one as well.
Yeah, I lost some runs on the second last boss because I lose 7 minutes there.
hmm
Oh, my longest fight was 12 minutes.
I remember
I
that.
think-
It was like 8 straight deaths in a row or something.
Pretty much.
So sad. If my cure in the first fight I had didn't miss, I would have actually been ahead of my PB. But alas.
Alas, Mystic Quest happened.
So maybe to just quickly talk about the general like basic gist of this game. It's supposed to be a beginner-friendly RPG, and you can see that in several parts of this game. I mean, you can only have 2 party members at maximum. Like everything, there are no items to be equipped. You can get items, but they get equipped automatically and all that stuff. So it's all pretty much very, very simple. And being underleveled in this game is frustrating at parts, but for speedrun, it's not like it doesn't matter, since if you die, well, of course it does matter, but if you die, you can pretty much just restart the fight. So.
Yeah, because in addition to being really underleveled through the whole run, there's a lot of enemies and bosses that can petrify or instantly kill you too, and
Yeah.
there isn't a whole lot you can do about that other than
I believe that 95% of the time you're not gonna die because you're actually dead because of 0 health, but more because you're gonna get petrified or instantly killed, which would have killed you regardless of your health. So.
Yeah, actually dying is pretty hard, and other than right here at the start, like most of the time it's instant death attacks or petrify, like mentioned, and there's no protection against that until the final dungeon. And even then,
Really?
some people decide to not pick up protection. Petrification.
I was gonna say, like, literally everyone's not gonna get it, probably.
Depends.
It depends. If I have floor 2, I don't think I can handle more. If I get floor 2, I'll probably pick it up.
So don't the weapons that Benjamin can equip affect his stats, and like you switched between them?
A few of them. So it's nothing really they have right now, but they'll get a sword later on that will up their Benjamin's speed, and the claw later on, which will up his magic. But right now, not so much. Benjamin's probably going to be sticking with bombs the whole time, but for the most part, Phoebe is going to be able to kill everything with fire.
Kill it with fire.
But that's where the seeds come in, because you get through these battles, and there's a lot of them, and you get through them so much faster if you can just spam magic all the time.
And then there's glitches you can use to get unlimited seeds.
Yep, and we have some time before all that.
Also, even though you are constantly underleveled in the speedrun, your partner, on the other hand, is pretty much overleveled all the time, and your partner's level is fixed, so he cannot get any experience whatsoever. And you will see that throughout most of the run. Your partner is gonna kill every enemy in one shot, pretty much every time. There are just very few differences where you need like extra strategies, but most of the time you're gonna kill everything in one hit.
Speaking of partners, do you want to explain like the auto versus manual routing too?
Oh, sure, yeah. So you have the option to let the AI take care of character actions, or if you want to do it. Now, in certain scenarios, you want to keep them on auto because that's less inputs you got to do. And the game has programmed based on enemy packs what the companion's going to do. So anytime, let's say if they fight all hedgehogs or all scorpions or something like that, Phoebe will automatically cast fire on everybody. So you can sit there and let the AI take care of that, versus here, Feral Pigman has 2 hedgehogs, 1 scorpion, so Phoebe would actually do something different, and he would have to manually target it in. The other thing that's nice about auto is usually when you put the AI companion on auto, the companion will get to go before the enemies, almost no matter what. Not all the time, but certainly against enemies and against bosses most of the time. So should Benjamin die, you're pretty much guaranteed to be able to revive him before anything else happens, because the AI will get to go.
And doesn't the AI decide what it's doing on the when it does it, instead of when you enter your commands too?
Exactly. So you could keep her on auto, and she might normally attack, but if the boss goes first and Benjamin dies, she'll instead life him. And what's interesting is if you put in Benjamin's command and then he dies, he'll get revived and actually still get his turn that round. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, the AI starts healing if you drop below 50% HP.
Depending on the enemy packs, and it happens more later, like there's not a lot of manual input for these first couple of dungeons, but depending on the packs, you may have to do things very specifically and single target everything and all that. So menuing speed, is a pretty big deal.
Sadly, we're not going to see the gen skip because that section is completely skipped overall. But
it's the meta.
Maybe
gen skip.
Maybe like if someone finishes way before the others, maybe that guy can like go there, because it's a pretty cool glitch. I think definitely deserves a show off.
Yeah, though it's been obsoleted by even more broken glitches that were fairly new, I think. Like, it's been less than a year, hasn't it, since the item corruption glitches?
Less than a year. It was in the summer, I believe.
Yeah. Last August? September?
Yeah, September, October, or just about.
And this is the any percent category they're doing too. The community basically has any percent, just beating the game as fast as possible, and 100%, which I believe is getting all like permanent items, as in not like ammo for weapons, and not doing any major skips.
I believe all the spells as well. Spells, items, bosses.
Spells, items, and equipment, yes.
Yeah, it's about like what, a 45-minute or so difference.
It's not much, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, technically, everybody will be skipping the Jin, just not in the way that you used to be. I'm sure everybody misses fighting the Medusa.
Well, I'm sure everybody misses getting the life spell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Yes.
That one I miss, yes. That one I do miss.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing in the run.
Farrell's fighting the Squid here, and it's a good example of wanting to make sure you take manual control. Phoebe can pretty much solo this one, just with her normal attack. And if you kept her on auto, she might use spells that were not as effective, or she might sit and try to heal Benjamin here, and it just doesn't matter. Ideally, you'd want her to get some crits so that it goes by fast, but there's really no danger for the most part. Short of her getting crit, I suppose. Yeah, Farrell's definitely ahead. Everybody's not too far behind. There may be a couple battles before the same boss he's fighting. But Farrell took the lead when he didn't die to Flamerous Rex.
Didn't get trolled.
Pretty much. Alright. Should be a minute behind everybody else.
Vultus is barely into the boss. Jenya's just starting it. Yeah, you're barely behind. Pretty much Vultus, Jenya, and Magus are all right next to each other, with Farrell a bit ahead here. Because he got trolled the least so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the only way to measure this game.
Oh, not a single
Amount of
crit on the
trouble.
boss.
Yo, 2 crits. I'm back, baby.
The goose is loose.
Of course, I get my only crit on the last hit, where that thing would have anyway died anyways.
Yeah, Magus and Jenya.
Classic.
Neck.
Classic. I, just if anyone hasn't noticed, that we talked about the seeds replenishing magic points. Magic works a little bit differently in this game because you don't have like mana points for each character in terms of MP, which you can use for every spell, but you have rather 3 categories of spells, which is white, black, and wizard. Each category has 4 different spells, and each category has also its own magic pool. Basically, how many times you can cast from that category, and if you use a seed on anyone, you basically replenish that pool for each category so that it gets replenished to full again.
Isn't there kind of like a ghetto duplication you can do to get like 1 extra seed at a time? Or...
Yeah, they
Or
will
you-
have done that either in the bone dungeon or in that cave they were just in, to where you select to use a seed on Benjamin, and then you back all the way out and run. You get an extra one. I believe they want to do that twice to kind of get them all the way
Yeah.
through the ice pyramid.
Sounds kind of similar to the FF7 item duplication glitch.
Yeah, actually, that is right.
Yeah. Also, we want to make sure to pick up the items in a very specific order, and we don't not want to dupe too many seeds, because if we do have too many, then well, it doesn't matter that much. But we want to get rid of those seeds at a very specific time as well. So if you can see us like picking up some chests here and there, we're not doing that out of random. We want to have a very specific order of items so that we can set up for a glitch later.
I just felt like getting cure potions. Get off my case.
So Farrell's in the dungeon. I remember. I mean, I hate puzzles. I suppose that's probably just my own problem, but it's not necessarily super clear on where to push those pillars, on how to jump and get to where you need to go. But then there's an exploit, maybe not an exploit, but you can actually place the pillars in a very specific way and skip a segment to get through this dungeon a lot faster.
Yeah, you'll see that on Farrell's stream in about 30 seconds, I guess.
Once he finishes this fight, he'll have access to all 3 pillars, and you'll see what happens.
Yeah, he basically is going to skip 2 fights that would be otherwise mandatory or intended.
I don't even remember how to do this dungeon legitimately.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, great! I'm level 7 for the boss.
Nice. I might also be level 7 for the boss. Now why that's bad? If you get way less experience and are level 7, the boss can one-shot Benjamin. With spells, and that's gonna at least gonna lose you some time.
Yeah, well, you get 40 HP per level, and one spell can do 296. On level S7, you have 280 HP.
I see.
Good
Sounds
fight.
good.
Oh! Again, just another good example of getting trolled in this game.
Did you die? Oh my.
No, I'm okay. Just losing time, you know?
Did he crit you for 700?
No, that was Phoebe.
Phoebe did.
Thanks,
Nice.
Phoebe.
Good job, Phoebe.
Maybe to mention it, Benjamin is the usual hero name of that guy. You don't figure it out if you don't have a book or something.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a default name, right? You start a game.
Yeah, Snow Crab is kind of like... I don't know, it's the next boss in this game that can pretty much troll you forever. So far I'm not
It's
seeing
mainly
anything...
because of the reason that he can confuse your party members, and if he confuses Phoebe, that's going like in my case, I jinxed it kind of. I have to admit that, but
Yeah, that's what he did to me.
Getting a request for a roll call too. People not familiar with the voices.
I am Feral Pigman. I'm in the upper left, rocking the ultra spooky colors and icon.
I'm Voltus, I'm top right, the Ice Golem. And I died to the Snow Crab on the last hit.
Oh, God.
I'm Jenya. I'm bottom left, and the Wyvern, the true Wyvern.
I'm El Magus and I'm not what is on the screen, and I'm in the bottom right.
I'm Big Fong Balls. I am commentating the glory of this video game.
And I'm Poexel. I'm hosting this and just basking in the radiance of Mystic Quest action. Also RPG Jerkbird.
Old Jerkbird.
L Jerkbird.
Oh man.
One thing I do like about this game too is that there's no benefit to giving Benjamin a one character name, so you can let the creative juices flow or the memes flow or whatever your
Actually,
desire is.
like, I think it doesn't matter, but I've never actually gone through text boxes. It might actually be a thing if you have a name that is too long.
It makes the text box
It
wider.
makes the text, yeah.
That
But
would be
I have never
hilarious.
tested that, and I do not plan on testing that too. So yeah.
My gosh, Voltus is getting trolled so hard.
In this kind of game, probably the character length is probably the least of your problems. So
Yeah, losing frames to names is not exactly a big deal.
Oh man.
Yeah, when you go through that crab experience like Voltus did, the name is just not
The
a
crab
concern.
experience.
Yep.
Oh wait, I can auto this. No, Phoebe. I shouldn't have autoed.
Exactly.
Yes.
just to talk a little bit about this dungeon we're in here, everyone. You can see that we seem to get encounters quite randomly at this point, but the fact is that there are absolutely no random encounters in this entire game. And then this dungeon just has this special like kind of threat to it that it has invisible enemies. You can potentially get an item to reveal those enemies, but of course they never move. They are always the same enemies. They are always on the same place. So since we know which enemy is going to be, we don't need to pick that up.
Yeah, the magic mirror would be the item, but yes, that is correct.
Yeah, it's right at the start of the dungeon actually, but it requires 2 additional fights. Also, it's opposite direction where you go in the speedrun.
Doesn't like the lava dome or one of the Firebird areas have the same mechanic too?
The volcano, I believe, does the
Yep,
same
the
thing.
volcano is the same. It's kind of a neat gimmick, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know any other game that does that.
You know what another neat gimmick is? Being able to jump over NPCs.
Oh yes.
That is very neat.
It's only truly a shame that jumping is slower than walking.
I'll probably do some jumping up and down staircases in Pazuzu's tower for the fun of it.
Stop the blind flashes, please.
Agree.
It's really annoying when your guest character or you are blinded, because then you can't auto with your guest character because they will use the heal spell instead of like attacking, even though they could just kill enemies with like casting a spell. So you do have to continue menu and heal manually after the fight, or keep doing manual inputs.
So even though I've basically been the only person who hasn't gone trolled, but all Magus already caught up to me.
What?
Because I mean, I've been making mistakes, and obviously he's better. So there's nothing. I mean, there's obviously trolling involved, but nothing is certain in this game. Whoops.
So just about every enemy, pretty much the entire game, will have some sort of weakness. There's a strategy involved with every kind of enemy pack, depending on what's there and what it's supposed to be. And they might be able to auto, they might have to input everything manually, but you should realistically know what to do every single time you get into a fight, so you can do it optimally, regardless of what shows up. And sometimes, if you're not careful, you'll leave someone on auto, and everything gets screwed up, and you don't kill everybody right away, and then you have to sit and endure the attacks for a while. This is really annoying. Your menus have to be pretty precise. You gotta kind of just... It's strange, because it's kind of like a mindless game to a degree. Just mashing A lot. But you do have to make sure you don't totally fall asleep.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was designed as a kind of beginner's RPG, but I think it works kind of well as a beginner's RPG speedrun too, just because there's no menuing, and it's not a very big time commitment either to learn the route or to do runs.
It's very easy to learn.
Yeah, if you don't aim for a really good time, it is a good speedrun to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, there's our randomness is kind of a bigger deal than anything that's actually under your control as far as what your final time is. So actually trying to like get the record is pretty grueling. But if you're just looking for a kind of more fun and casual speedrun, I think this works pretty well. I'll probably learn it myself someday.
And if anyone does want to learn this speedrun, some nice German fellow actually wrote up an entire guide on GameFAQs.com. And you can take
I
a
hear
look
that
at
he is I hear that he's connected to Pazuzu though, so
hard to know if
Be
you can
careful.
trust it then, I guess. But if you so desired, would be really easy to pick up. All the notes are there,
Yeah.
the route is there. It's all very, very detailed. Tells you exactly where to go, what to buy, what to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
has
think-
a walkthrough like a normal game walkthrough basically. Just for in the speedrun style, it shows you what enemies are weak to, how much HP they have, what you're supposed to do on different formations. Everything is on there.
Yeah, it's really good. And I think basically I did like a couple of runs with the notes, and after like 2 runs, I didn't need the notes anymore. It's a really easy speed run to pick up if you're looking to get something simple.
And I would say probably just the more challenging thing is just remembering like where to go in the dungeons.
Yep, that's what people usually have the most problem with when they use my guide. Is like they are like, I can't remember where I have to go.
And even then, it's very specific. Like it tells you exactly where you need to go, and it's very detailed.
Does it have all 6 possible routes through Pazuzu's tower though?
Yes,
It
does.
does.
Ooh.
It does.
It does. Otherwise, I would not be able to get through.
Yeah. Even if you're not sure, it even tells you how you're supposed to feel, given what floor
Yes.
you have.
It does.
I think I added that too.
It does tell you how to feel.
It does.
Whoop.
Yeah, floor 2, which is the worst floor, Pazuzu's dungeon, which is a dungeon later on, once again takes forever. And it's kind of convoluted. If you've never done it before, it's hard to know what to do. And in contrast, getting floor 6, which is the best, is insanely straightforward. You kind of just walk up to it. We'll see what everybody gets here.
We'll get to
we
that.
will.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We got bigger problems at hand. Voltus is gonna fight us soon. Oh my god.
Voltus is
Just
kind of
stomp
a
again.
trolley boss as well.
Yeah, all of the 4 big bosses
Whoops.
that we have for our teams are pretty much the biggest trolls in the game. Luckily, we skipped one of them. Dulahan would actually be the trolliest boss of them all, I think. Even with the life spell, his attacks are way overpowered. Like
when you have to basically turtle in that fight and then wait for openings that you can actually attack safely.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got trolled a lot by birds, so Phoebe missed every time.
Good job, Phoebe. Take this.
Getting some questions now about manipulating Pazuzu. I guess we can talk more about that when we actually get to the tower, just because it's kind of a long dungeon.
Oh,
Yeah, everybody seems to be familiar
I'm dead.
with Pazuzu.
Good job,
Yeah.
Ice Golem.
Ooh.
Excuse me.
Oops. Thank you.
This can be a really long fight, too. Death is quite costly unless it happens pretty much right away.
This happens first turn.
Pretty much.
Oh my god, come on.
Oh man, for me everything went wrong so far, I guess.
Thank you for healing.
Hmm.
I am pleased. 169. He's gonna die though. Oh man. Oh my god.
So this boss is really annoying just because he can randomly go faster than Phoebe.
What? How is he not dead?
So sometimes Phoebe can be close to death, and you're like, okay, whatever, I'll heal her. And then that's the turn that Ice Golem goes first and just kills her, and then you're screwed because Benjamin can't revive her.
Well, looks like Voltuz is doing a really good job of
bring the whole run.
Oh my god. Voltuz is OP right now.
Oh my god. How did he not die?
Oh, lost a minute.
I fired him 4 times in this last form and he didn't die. Doesn't even make sense. Like I said, that's like... Yeah. Usually he dies when
sometimes
fires twice.
No, actually, not even sometimes. A lot of times, this game doesn't make any sense, and like even runners who run this game, like quite a lot of times, still cannot explain some stuff that's still happening in this game.
Man.
Oh, Farrell's still barely maintaining his lead.
I would be so far ahead right now.
It's okay, I'll cough it up in the next 30 seconds, I'm sure. I've gone to the wrong place twice already.
Oh god, the double confusion.
The
All right,
riddle.
so anyway,
Go ahead.
yeah, those Sphinx guys are probably the worst enemies you can encounter in this entire thing, just because they can double confuse you. Anyways, what we're gonna do right after this dungeon is we're gonna fight one battlefield exactly. You can see it on the overworld map that there were some of these green fields here and there. They're basically battlefields which you can grind some experience on, or you can get some spells and items, equipment out of it, depending on which battlefield you can do. Each battlefield has 10 battles on it. We're only going to do one, which is going to give us the exit spell, because the exit spell is absolutely overpowered in this game. And that exact battlefield that we're going to fight has 2 different formations. One is the single squid, which is really good because we can just kill that with a bomb. And the other one is the squid with the sphinx, and that is the one we do not want because that one will almost always be a back attack, and you cannot fight them because the sphinx is always going to riddle and confuse you, and there's no way of...
You could fight it if you get a first strike and pick up fire before, but...
When does that ever happen?
Yeah, so I mean, battlefields are all optional. I mean, they're in the game just to give you extra experience and money and items and stuff, but they're doing this one just because the exit spell is, yeah, like Jenya said, is really overpowered. It not only lets you instantly leave towns and dungeons, but you can also use it to one-shot enemies.
Oh. And so this is just another example of just uncontrollable RNG. You cannot control whether you get one squid or one squid with the sphinx. And looks like Farrell is getting all the luck and Jenya is getting all the bad luck. And it can cost, and it can just cost you a godly amount of time. And you know, all you can do is mash A and hope for the best.
Pretty much.
You want to talk about the glitch that's pretty much coming up now then for Farrell?
Sure. So I'll probably need some backup with that overall. But,
yeah.
They first of all had to pick up their items in a very specific order. I believe it's seeds, then cures, then refreshers, then heals. To basically line up the top row of their inventory in a very specific way. And then they need to make sure that they use up all their seeds so that it's a blank slot. And that's going to set up a pretty big time glitch once Farrell gets through this battlefield. I guess I'll wait till he actually gets to Fireberg to talk more about that.
Yeah, the glitch saves, I think it's like 20-25 minutes or so.
25 is pretty accurate.
Nice.
Yeah, Jenya, I think, is having one of the worst battlefields I've ever seen in my life.
This is really horrible.
It's really, really bad.
Yeah, I only had two
I think-
bad battles, so it was really not bad at all. For me, at least.
I already had 6, and I still need two more fights.
So yeah, good speed game.
So as Puexel mentioned before, especially when you're grinding for like a top time, a lot of what happens is just completely outside your control. And again, like at this point, with as many double battles as Genya's gotten, he might have been forced to reset, depending on how his other times went.
He's gotten a couple unexpected attacks too. How big of a deal is that?
Well, if you get a Sphinx fight, like the chance of an unexpected attack is like 95% or so. So
Yeah.
if you get a Sphinx, it's most of the time going to be an unexpected attack. Very rarely you can escape immediately, but yeah, that's just
You can get unexpected attacks against single squids also,
yeah.
which is just kind of annoying. It's not as big of a time waste as the double battle.
Actually, every time a Fanquid electropulses you, you lose 4 seconds. So it's kind of a big deal if they do.
Well, yeah, but yeah. not as big a deal as a double battle though.
Okay, so one of the big finds this late summer, early fall was this fact that you could buy 0 of a certain item. In this case, Farrell's going to buy 0 seeds. And then once he uses it, it's basically, if I understand this at a basic level, overflows his inventory and basically gives him new items. And had he not had that specific inventory set up, he would have gotten a different outcome, which would basically have been useless. But what he was able to do in using that 0 seed is a couple of things. One, it gave him infinite seeds from here on out. Not infinite, but way more than he's going to need for the entire game. And he also got the next couple of coins for him to proceed through the game. Normally, you would have to go through this entire Firebird sequence to get the next coin so that you could go through this purple door right here. But since he basically got it by overflowing, then he doesn't have to do the entire segment.
I seem to remember when the glitch was first discovered that people had to sit and drink like 100 cure potions or something like that. Is that no longer a thing because of just arranging items in a different order?
Yeah, it's pretty much like you got your consumable row in the top, and if you manipulate it so you have these fake sky coins, you can basically underflow your inventory by buying cure potions since they're not in the first row. The game doesn't know where to put them, so it puts them into quote-unquote slot 5. Which underflows the inventory, which is very, very beneficial because it's really, really fast. What used to happen, like the way we created these fake sky coins right there, you can actually, if you use up your seeds again and underflow again, it will be fake sun coins and so on and so forth. And if you use these items in battle, they will actually become permanent in your inventory and are not fake anymore. So that used to be the way of sequence breaking, which is very, very a very slow process, but it was still way faster, obviously, to like just get the sun coin and sky coin.
And I'm guessing you can't use it to skip Pazuzu's tower just because of other triggers that need to be hit in order to enter Doom Castle.
Yeah, unfortunately the trigger is Pazuzu himself, so
yeah,
you can't skip it by just making some items, unfortunately.
The way the story progresses, you have to beat Pazuzu in order to remove Kaylee from your party so you can actually get access to Mech Ship. It's very unfortunate.
I'm sure they'd probably rather be able to skip Pazuzu's tower than Fireberg if they could.
So while they're in the Alive Forest here, you'll be seeing the exit spell in effect. These monsters are actually pretty strong. It would take quite a while, especially the mummies, to get through them. But luckily, short of it missing, exit will take the enemy out of the battle. You don't get experience or money from them, but experience and money is not really something we care about for the most part. So the fact that you are now exiting half the enemies is just not an issue. It's obviously much faster to be able to do that. Mummies themselves are particularly powerful and annoying. So
I mean, that single mummy that you fight solo after Ruben just comes out of nowhere and falls off the bridge is a pretty easy fight to die on, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
easy
mummy
to
is
get
every
the
time
infinite.
faster,
Oh, why?
and the mummy can
Even-
petrify. So
Yeah, it can
Basically,
petrify.
can
put you to
petrify every
sleep.
turn.
And even if when we used to do like Fireberg area and whatnot, the mummy can still just randomly troll you. So yeah, even at like level 18, he might still go before you.
Hope you know where you're going too, because when you do that glitch, the clouds are still covering the map.
Yeah.
The Windia section.
So basically, we skipped the entire Ruben section, the first Ruben section of this game, basically making him appear out of nowhere when we are on the bridge, because the game thinks, okay, you have to be here, so there has to be Ruben in your party, and he just appears out of nowhere, which is kind
If
of
you actually have
fortunate.
someone else in your party, you just lose that person. So
Yeah, exactly.
because of the item duplication, you basically can do what you want with the game, kinda. And if you get Ruben or not Ruben, if you get
Oh,
Kaylee somehow or whatever, you just lose Kaylee.
You can do some pretty interesting stuff with the game, and you can just mess around with all the stuff.
Farrell, you
So after
didn't
that-
go to the waterfall, huh? Or is that what
no,
happened?
I went to talk to Kaylee before I talked to Spencer.
Catching up.
All these stupid mistakes going in the wrong place, man.
Farrell's
I
a
got-
good sport. He wants competition, so
Yeah, I don't want to beat these guys by too much, you know.
I see. I hope.
He'll just be satisfied with like a 155 or so in this race because he's a small guy.
yeah. So Jenya's in the lead now, with Farrell right behind him and Magus right behind him. And Voltu's not too far behind either. He's just got to finish this alive forest section.
Don't worry, guys. I would just predict that the leads will change at least 30 times still in this. Like, no, I'm not even kidding. With
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're upcoming in the next dungeon. There are some, or in the tree itself, there upcoming some enemy formations that can lose you 20 seconds if you're unlucky.
Yeah, there's a
greatest
couple of
thing is-
segments in the next dungeon where you fight a lot of the same enemy packs, and you just gotta have to hope for the more friendlier versions, because each battle can cost you a time, and then you have 5 more of the same exact one where it could either be good or cost you time.
The greatest thing is though that PB is still possible.
Until you have a floor 6 PB, I'd say it's basically always possible.
I'm still waiting for that. I have yet to get a floor 6. I don't believe it actually exists, but
It does, please.
I never see it on your stream, Vegas. So
true.
How do you-
I actually went 2 weeks without floor 6, and I have not played the game like just a tiny bit. I only played this game for 2 weeks. So yeah. Sometimes it's definitely hard to summon floor 6.
I did get floor 6 twice in a row, totally wasted.
The last time I got a PB, but I wasn't really happy about that. Because my Doom Castle is the slowest Doom Castle in history.
Yeah, that floor 6
is that the one
was
where you
4
died like
minutes
3
ahead.
times to Stone Golem, or is that a different?
Yes.
PB?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably
But then you
stop
still
like
have Zoo.
talking about the floors all the time.
Yeah.
It's just confusing for everyone who doesn't know what's going on there.
So we're making a little detour here to pick up the spell Arrow for Benjamin, as it's quite useful in the entire dungeon, especially for the boss that's going to be coming up in this dungeon.
How did I
you end
cast
up?
Quake there?
You do end up in the last dungeon of the game to pick it up, so you have kind of a dangerous enemy pack rather, but you can get through it with some decent luck pretty easily, especially with Exit. Exit works on almost everything.
Want to know how I did cast Quake there? Sometimes the game, if you select a spell, it will, if you're too fast, it will select a spell from the next row without you even noticing. It's very frustrating.
You actually have to have the spell for that to work?
Yes. You have to
so
have
no
the
like
spell.
casting flare on Drex or stuff like that.
That'd be
No,
really
no.
cool.
Otherwise, if you don't have a spell, it will just make the error sound if you're too fast.
Also because we skipped the entire fireworks section, which, by the way, it contains 3 entire dungeons. We, like, you can see that we are vastly underleveled here. We're level 11 or 12 by now. And you're supposed to be much, much higher here. And luckily it doesn't have too great of an impact because we still have a strong power turn, as we already said. But yeah, you can get killed easily by every enemy here. If something goes wrong, that is, but...
When something goes wrong.
Yeah.
There's no if here.
Yeah.
Yeah, before that got discovered, I guess he was level 16 to 17 here instead. So now you're 6 levels lower.
Trouble stone game.
Also, it's probably noteworthy that we're not grinding at any point of this game. Like, everything we do is... all the fights we do is basically just all the fights we have to fight in order to progress the story. There's no fight we're gonna do to, like, grind some experience or something.
Oh, man.
What? Okay.
We're basically still neck and neck.
Yeah, everybody is so close right now.
That's why this is the hot new speed game of 2015. It's so good.
I can't believe as many people have picked this up as actually happened. It's unbelievable.
It's kind of depressing, really. This is all your fault, Omagus?
Why is it my fault? I've been playing this game for, like, ages.
Or for making that super accessible game facts?
Oh yeah, if it were not for the extreme generosity of that GameFAQs guide writer, then who knows what would be happening with this game.
Oh, this is not going to work. Oh well. We'll do it anyway.
So here on my stream you can see the kind of enemy which is really annoying, but that comes in almost 100 times I think in this dungeon. It's the worm battle, so these guys are really frequently being fought here, and they can come in 2 enemies or 3 enemies. If they are only 2 worms, you can just instantly kill them with arrow and save a lot of time, but if they decide to be in 3 impacts with 3 or even with a slime, you lose a lot of time because they will all get a turn before Benjamin gets a turn, and it's pretty annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
one
have
of
to
the
see that on
segments. Yeah, Ferals just takes way longer. It just one more enemy makes you take an entire extra round, which means you also have to sit through enemy attacks as well. So every 3 worm pack that gets run into is a time loss. There's a few segments with these worms, and you just can get real lucky or unlucky. And later on, they're going to run into oozes too, which is very similar. That if you run into the wrong pack, it just takes that much longer. And there's
You're
nothing
probably
you can do about it.
Yeah, you're probably fighting around 15 of these worm battles in total. Maybe a little bit less, but like 12 to 13 should be accurate.
Yeah, it is a lot for sure.
Please. So this first room, there's supposed to be supposedly a high probability of getting 2 worm battles.
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 out of 4 3 worm battles, so it's It's fine.
The one 3-worm bell I missed twice. It was glorious.
Sick.
Also, what is really annoying, if you get an ooze or the slime, the metal slime, I'm just gonna say metal slime.
Yeah, that's basically what
With
they
with
are.
with the two worms, you cannot cast arrow on everything because they will reflect every magic spell, and you will kill yourself if you do that.
Yeah, so you need some pretty good luck with the oozes. You're hoping either Kaylee crits one and kills it, or maybe she doesn't, but then it tries to drain her, which she's strong against, so it actually damages the ooze instead. Otherwise, you end up spending extra turns. It's just a little
There we
annoying,
go.
or a lot annoying.
Jay is getting pretty decent luck
Yeah.
from what I've seen.
What decent luck.
Yeah. I mean, you're
It's
not
not my
getting as
fault
many
you don't run
3-worm
away from
fights.
the ooze. Always run
I'm not
away
running
from
away
the
from-
ooze. Always run away from the ooze.
I
Metal
did run
slimes are
away,
the
but
devil.
then
Oh, wrong way. Oh well.
I ran away twice and got the same battle the third time, and then I decided like, no, just no.
Dude, I ran away 3 times. Gotta have patience.
Yeah.
Dude, it's all about the swag claw strats on the dream slime. Blech.
I take it.
You know, I mentioned it.
slime
So
to be, like petrified or
claw-
instant death by the claw.
Yeah, the claw has a lot of status effects on it, and can petrify enemies, and that causes them to die instantly.
So far
Yeah.
behind the guitar.
Oh.
Apparently, I've been doing
Oh.
these 3-worm fights all wrong the entire time. This is a good educational experience for me for my glorious return.
Yeah, there are a couple of ways to do the 3-worm fights. There's like a safer way that takes 2 turns, and there's like a slightly riskier way that takes 1. I've been doing the slightly riskier way just for the hell of it.
Ah, and now the frogs. Just another enemy pack that can be pretty trolly. Nice crit though.
Nice.
Yeah, these frogs also can petrify.
And it's even better in these dangerous packs when everybody misses. Again, just
Oh yeah.
RNG
Missing is
doing
it's
its
the
thing.
greatest thing.
yeah,
the
it is.
greatest
It's a good feeling. Yeah, this race is really close. Really, really close, and that will change. But it's actually been really close most of the whole game.
Sigh.
All I can see is worms on the screen. Not a good sign.
Sure, why not?
I think Feral's in the lead now. I might be mistaken.
I think we're all
I
in the same
believe
battle.
that's the case.
I think we are all 3 on the same battle, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
That
we're all in the same battle.
I would never expect that from a race of this game. That's for
No, yeah, I agree. You guys like legitimately are in the exact same spot.
Them being
That's-
like in the same dungeon is kind of a miracle too.
It's the magic of random enemy packs to to severely slow people down.
Yeah, but I mean, this whole tree dungeon is probably not probably. It is the longest dungeon in this game, and like in the at least in the speedrun. It used to be a tie between this one and the volcanic island. To say island, the volcano. But since we skipped that, this is definitely the longest section or dungeon.
By far, yeah.
Unless you get floor 2 maybe, but
Yeah, Floor 2 is kind of long.
Just a little bit. Okay, yeah, so it looks like Jenya's just barely ahead of Magus here, and Magus barely ahead of Feral.
Yep.
Let's pick up where Voltuz is at. Voltuz basically one room behind.
I still can't get past that fact, too, that they're already in the tree and they're almost synced.
They're German powers, man. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, well, the game wants to have an exciting race, I guess, after that 2-second spread and RTA timing for the relay.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Merton.
Based Merton.
It was for the people, right? That's
For
why
the
it
people,
happened.
huh?
That's what I'm trying to tell myself.
Missing is fun.
Hitting enemies is overrated.
Exactly. Usually I wouldn't heal there. Nope. Oh, what the fuck? It's
Pretty typical phrases of the Mystic Quest speedrunning community.
Sorry.
WTF and FMAs
Oh, dang it.
and
Riddle my
yeah,
D's.
Switch.
Riddle my D's. Yep.
Yeah.
Also-
let's replace
also-
some of the more. Let's replace most of those with RPG jerk word.
Yeah.
And
Also, they're
Magus
very
Floor
common
2s
phrases.
also
Yeah.
works.
Magus Floor.
Very common phrases, probably. Why am I playing this game?
Yeah.
Yeah. This game's so
Well,
dumb.
We all know why we're playing this game, and it's because of Bick.
I am not the only one to vote for this game. Please, please.
But you did vote for this
Realistically-
game.
Realistically, who you should blame is Fathlow for only getting 4 bomb fights and voting for MQ. I tried my best. I had 6. That was
I had 7.
still second place somehow.
I've never seen them run into a door, man. I don't know. They just ran into the door like they were saying, alright, you gotta play Mystic Quest tomorrow, my friend. Sorry. Ooh, nice crit.
Masochist only, or if you want to become one, this is a good way to go about it. Play this game, floor 1. Alright, luckily we're getting close to the end of this dungeon here. Just gotta
No, not luckily. The boss that was waiting at the end of this dungeon is probably the most annoying boss.
Oh,
Probably. I mean, to
Lion Man.
fight.
Yo, nice.
Yeah, because they're supposed to have the life spell for Benjamin by this point, and it's worth pointing out that the life spell is pretty ridiculously strong in this game, because it not only revives you, but also heals all of your HP and status, and you can do it even if you're not dead, too, so... Not having that is pretty painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically in a position because of the skip now that if your companion ever dies and you are not in a point where you can possibly kill the boss in one turn, then you're pretty much screwed because you have no way to bring back the companion.
I believe, Benjamin. I believe.
All right, so looks
Please.
like Jenya and Magus are starting the boss fight here.
Oh, nice. Wait.
The trick here is the boss is weak against wind here, so both characters are going to spam arrow, while when you need to, you're going to put Kaylee in auto to keep everybody's HP up. Much like any other boss fight for the most part, it can go insanely well or it can go very poorly, just depending on what the boss does and if he crits and if he just happens to go faster when he shouldn't and whatnot. Again, just all things that are out of your control. You kind of just have to... There's a lot of praying in this game, if you couldn't tell already.
There is, unfortunately. Alright, we should have it. Now that I've said that, though.
I've seen many runs
I-
die to this boss in the last round too, just because of getting petrified at the last second or something.
Yeah, he likes to do that. Like, another thing, I don't know, secondary characters are supposed to be faster than the bosses, usually, but sometimes in a random turn, they decide not to be faster than the boss, and in this
Okay,
turn...
so it looks we had about maybe 3 or 4 seconds between Magus and Jenya's Ghidra kills.
Yeah, I had a pretty good fight overall.
So Goon
Also,
Kid.
just
Yeah.
to throw that in, Goon Kid.
Yeah.
I had a really good fight as well.
It's supposed to be go on Kid, but spacing is not really a thing by that forest.
Normally they'd be exiting right out of here, since it's such a glorious spell. But they do have one quick thing to pick up, which is the Meteor spell, which they're gonna have to go through a couple extra encounters to get through. Mostly just a lot of walking and chopping, though.
I take it there'd be more backtracking involved if you got it before Ghidra.
Yeah, it's just far more.
there's monsters in the way.
Yeah.
If
Oh, and they
you
disappear
before-
after you
And they
kill-
disappear
yeah.
after the boss. Yeah.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah.
So it's just a lot of giant mushrooms blocking your way at this point.
If the monsters weren't in your way, you would definitely pick it up before Ghidra. Definitely. It's kind of right on the way, so it wouldn't even be that much of a detour, but yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna basically prepare ourselves. We got to stop by in the next town, Windia, to get the next storyline going, as well as to pick up a couple of items. So normally, they should have gotten a bomb upgrade during that Fireberg segment, where you have to basically talk to a couple of people. But since we don't really need to do anything in that segment, we skip it until now. Now that they have the ability to warp from Windia to Fireberg, they basically just talk to this guy real quick and come back.
Did they get the warp tile from glitching, or did they actually pick it up?
I believe it's from
It's
glitching.
glitching, I think.
It's from glitching, yeah. Yeah, it's the last one you're supposed to get, like, after Pazuzu. So,
Yeah.
you're not even supposed to go to Fireberg from Windia until after Pazuzu. But yeah, we glitched it in our inventory.
Alright. So, they basically need to work with some wind machine or something here, so they have to send them down to the mountains to fight the Dulahan.
The Dulahan.
Dulahan. And fairly straightforward dungeon. There's really nothing much to it. You just walk across a couple of bridges. Kind of like not very much of a dungeon at all. Dulahan himself used to be actually really dangerous because of his Doom Dance. Doom Dance has a shot, basically a chance to one-shot you. Nothing you can do about it. Which is still a clear and present danger, but a new strat was found pretty recently to attempt to basically paralyze him so that he doesn't really get any turns. All the while, Benjamin uses Meteor to take him down slowly but surely.
Dulahan has one of my favorite attack names in any video game ever, too, Hedoomerang.
So good. Hedoomerang!
Only the animation actually showed it like popping its head off and throwing it at you like a boomerang too.
That would be great. If only.
The nice thing about Meteor is it allows the party to basically one round every encounter here. With
These water
single
hags
target
got
arrow.
lost on their way to the water, I guess, too. Or on their way to kill Edward in FF4.
Oh man, finally done with that boss.
Rip Gidra for good.
Yeah, but
Nobody
after
got
dying in the
killed.
last or second last hit.
Ooh, over 600 viewers too, nice.
Nice.
That's impressive.
That is impressive. Yeah.
Wonderful get over 666 by Pazuzu.
Oh man.
This is it. Clearly, floor 6 is real. It's gonna be real for someone. I know it. I can feel it.
There is still a chance, just no one gets it. The game just laughs at us.
Pretty much.
That's when if all 4 runners get floor 2, we just cut stream. All
Yep.
day.
Whoops. El Magus is currently in the lead.
Yeah, so he started the fight here. Much like any other boss fight, you want to quickly get rid of the minions and then start concentrating on the boss. What he's going to do is, for the most part, try to keep his hit points up. And then once he's safe, if he gets to a point where he can be safe, he's going to cast heal on the boss. And it has a chance to stop him from taking any actions for that round. In which
Somebody
case-
wanted to boomerang. Oh my god. He's doing nothing else.
Boomerang!
Yes! Yes!
Well, Magus always was the hero of the people.
Ooh. That is true. That is
In
true.
the most ideal scenario, Kaylee gets to cast heal every time. The boss does absolutely nothing, and then Benjamin spams Meteor. And at some point, because I think you only get 3 Meteor casts, he'll have to seed himself. But it looks like, as Magus said earlier, he's just getting Hadoomerang over and over and over and over again. How about the other fellas? How are we doing here?
I stunned him once. Ooh, twice.
Yeah, so Farrell is seeing more success with the strat here, as the boss just sits there and gets pelted by meteors.
Dang. Whoa. Hadoomerang!
That was actually very good.
Yeah,
I saved 30 seconds.
clean fight there for Magus. Looks like Farrell and Jenya again, just right behind him.
Alright, it's time.
So we
Here.
got to get the next portion of the story going, which will send us to the infamous Pazuzu's Tower.
Oh my
Um,
god, what?
Pazuzu's Tower is 7 floors. And you basically, the route requires you to go all the way up those 7 floors, and then possibly, if you're extremely unlucky, all the way down. When they get to about floor 3, I want to say, they'll run into Pazuzu, and basically the gimmick there is he's going to be sitting at his elevator, and once you talk to him, he's going to move to a random floor. And so they have to climb up to the top of the tower and work their way down. Number 1, they have to pick up the flare spell, which is very strong, and then number 2, they need to see where Pazuzu actually is. From there, depending on what floor he randomly shows up on, they will have to hit certain switches to block Pazuzu from running away before they can talk to him again. And depending on what floor he's on, they may be able to just walk right up to him. That's floor 6, and fight him.
Yeah, we had some
And-
questions earlier about manipulating Pazuzu too, and if that's a thing. So
Not possible.
So I think it
someone wanna
was-
explain how he works exactly.
I think it was it Voltuz who tested this, and he literally
Yeah,
Talk
I
to- A lot
of
just
people
talked to him
tested it.
3 times.
Yeah.
I talked to him 3 times on the same frame. He switched floors afterwards.
Yeah, so like even when talking to Pazuzu on the exact same frame every time, he ends up somewhere different. So what that means is there's legitimately zero possibility of trying to manipulate him into getting floor 6. You really legitimately, almost all the way through the run have to roll the dice and see what happens. And there are big time differences between the floors.
It just seems like there's a better chance if you talk to him on floor 1 or 3 that he's on 6. I just talked to him on about every floor 20 times, and he was never on floor 6 when I talked to him on floor 7.
Oh my god.
All these urban legends growing up about Pazuzu. But the tower is nothing to sneeze at either, too, because there's like the hallway of doom at one point.
Yeah, there are very strong enemies here. They all take a while. They can all be trolly, especially the manticores. The tower itself is quite long, and then if you have to sit through some of the worst floors, then that's just even more enemies you have to fight. It just takes a really long time. So one of the time-honored traditions, which is not coming up quite yet, but people are already spamming it in the chat, is right when we first see that Pazuzu is not on floor 6, then we spam the baby rages. So we just saw Feral, and I think Genyo walk past on floor 3. It's the first time you talk to him. And from there, it's in God's hands now. I don't know. He's going to be wherever he is, and we'll see what happens.
Floor 2, which is the worst, loses like 11 minutes over floor
Or floor 6, yeah.
floor 6.
10:30, yes.
Yeah, the spread between the best and the worst floors is double-digit minutes, which is
Yeah,
insane.
for a game for a game this short by RPG standards is pretty significant.
The first segment of the tower is pretty straightforward. You basically walk through an odd-numbered floor, fight some enemies, and then you walk up a big hallway with 3 encounters of the same enemy. It was birds the first time, and then these beholder things this time, and it'll be manticores on the next time. Once again, every pack has its own strategy, and you kind of just have to hope you don't get owned. Sometimes you might have to menu heal more than others, which of course eats time. One other thing to note too is getting into that menu heal and trying to do your inputs fast. If you're trying to use Benjamin to heal, the first spell you can possibly select for him is Exit, which will do exactly what it's supposed to do, teleport you out of the dungeon. And if you're not careful when you're trying to get to Cure, you can cast Exit on accident, and when you walk back in, you'll notice that every single enemy that you kill is respawned. That's something you definitely
pretty
don't want to do.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's something everyone's done, I'm sure, at some points in their Mystic Quest career. I believe, Kaylee?
And I guess all these fights are hard coded to be 3 mana cores too. You can't like run away until you get fewer of them.
Yeah, you're basically just stuck with what you got.
The life glitch comes in handy here.
It's very, very useful.
Yeah, life is like the all-powerful spell. Kills a lot of enemies in one shot. Can revive you,
Oh,
cure
no.
you, heal you.
And you get a turn after getting revived too.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, well, Mag, is the exact same thing happened to me. Nice.
Nice. It's always
Oh,
good
boy.
to stone gas.
Looks like everybody just got trolled. Why manticores are the best.
Could be worse, to be honest.
Yeah. Can always be worse. Nice, Jenya. I like that too. Stone gaze to the quake yourself. Yeah. Just providing magical moments, mystic quests.
Good. Yeah, I'm actually gonna run away from this. This is faster than trying this. Oh, like, because I was petrified and yeah, it's a good game.
Okay, so we're almost to the moment of truth. Magus is on 7th floor. He needs to go downstairs once and get his flare spell, and then check to see if Pazuzu is there. We got a handful of encounters to get through first, but something like, I don't know, 8 more or something like that. But we're getting there. We are getting there. Get your copy pastes ready to go here.
I've got a little something special ready to go too.
That's extra exciting.
I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, you can kind of start to begin to see what speedrunning this game is like, especially if you're grinding attempts. Basically fighting the same battles over and over again, mashing your A button, getting trolled, petrified, confused, doom danced,
Fortude.
getting floor-2'd. Yeah, it's not easy on the mind, I would imagine. I don't think anyone's hit it quite as hard as Elmagus has. Which is why he's playing it right now and enjoying himself.
Also, dragging floor 3 is impossible since we talked to him and he's moving away from floor 3, so he cannot be on floor 3.
Yeah.
Technically, he is on floor 3 after you talk to him on floor 2.
That is true. So I guess since floor 3 isn't theoretically an option, that probably puts Magus at floor 2 instead.
He'll get it anyway. Sounds good. Yeah, our options are floor 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. 6 being the fastest, 2 being the slowest, and I think 5 is better. It's like what, 6, 5, 1, something like that. 4, 2.
6, 1, 5 or
6, 1,
6,
5.
Yep.
Not sure exactly.
We're almost at 666 viewers too. This is disgusting.
It was meant to be. Where are 9 more viewers at?
Oops. This is the worst part of the game, I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
I'm
okay.
excited.
Maybe for
Here we
you,
go.
not for the viewer.
Yeah.
Not for the viewer, that's true.
Angus is gonna fight these two encounters, and then, well, we'll see.
I'm not gonna spoil it or anything. Oh yeah.
All right. Oh.
Raise your baby rages. Oh man. This is incredible.
Oh, that's the baby rate.
Let's see.
Okay, so since Pazuzu's not there, El Magus does not get the best possible option, so he has to keep walking down the tower here, fighting more encounters to even just see what floor Pazuzu's going to be on. And even from there, he has to do some specific things. You notice that he hit a switch. What that does is it blocks Pazuzu the next time he talks to him from being able to come up there. Basically, so regardless of what floor he ends up on, the basic idea is you hit the switches that are mandatory to keep him on a specific floor so that you can fight him. And sometimes you need more than others depending on what floor he's on. Feral is just about there. Actually, Jenya too. Sorry.
Yeah, they're both in the same
Yeah,
battle.
they're both in the same
Exciting.
fight. Yeah.
Imagine if both get floor 6.
I
Oh
just-
man.
I just noticed that. So we might have to get your spam ready again. We will see.
It'll be a spam of some sort.
Maybe we're gonna see a mixture of both spams.
That would be pretty cool.
All right, hit the switch, Feral. Oh. Okay. We still got 2 more chances at it here. It's got to happen.
I still think it's a myth. I don't
Looks
believe.
like no floor 5 for El Magus either.
No.
Oh, here it
No.
comes.
Not floor 4 either. Oh man, this is going to
That's the worst part.
Oh,
That's the worst
boy.
part. If he's not floor 4 either.
Once you don't see him on 5 or 4, you just know it's gonna be 2. Even though it could possibly be 1, but is that no floor 5 for, or are you still on 6, Feral?
I'm on still on 6.
All right, Jenya.
I've not seen
Ah!
yet. Baby Ray. All right, Voltiz. It's all up to you. Be the hero. Be the
Send the
hero
4
we
Voltus
need.
leads after this.
Yeah, just 3 more fights.
Oh, fuck.
Oh yo, these guys are killing me.
Dang.
So now Magus has to work his way down to the bottommost floors, and we're gonna see. No floor 5 for Feral.
See Pazuzu's tower in all its glory.
Oh man, this is it. After this fight, I'll know. I'll not spoil it.
Okay.
Well, we all know what Vol'jin wants.
Yeah.
See?
Okay, no floor 5 for Jenya either. Oh man. I don't like the trend of this right now.
I just want one
It's
thing.
gonna come out.
Not everybody to get floor 2. That's all I want.
Yeah, I know.
That would be the dream. Just not
Oh!
floor 2s, please.
It kind of happened to me though. It kind of happened to me.
Oh no! Man.
Come on, 6 more viewers.
Oh. Everybody send your condolences to Elmagus. Why does this always happen to you in a race, dude?
I don't know. I think
Literally
yeah,
every race.
that's true. Every race I race with you guys in it, like I don't know, it
That
just
is
keeps
very
happening.
true. That's very true.
I don't know. I mean, Magus and me also did a couple races, and I think it happened 2 times that we both got floor 2 as well. So let's see if this is gonna happen again.
Please
Did you,
don't.
did you have floor 4, Farrell?
I do not.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
Floor 2. Much excite.
Okay,
Much
okay.
exciting.
The streak is broken.
At least Jenya doesn't have floor 2.
Denya has the floor 4, which is not.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm happy about floor 4 now.
Yeah.
You should do the swag,
It's-
push him to
it's-
floor 1 strats.
It's the second worst, isn't it? So
This will be so incredible if Voltas gets floor 6.
I expect it to happen.
please get Metroid Baby Skip Voltus. Get yourself back in the race. Ah, no such luck.
Baby
Fortunately
Rage.
not.
Baby Rage.
Oops.
Ah, man. So nobody got floor 6, huh? Huh.
Oh, man.
Nope.
No floor 6s. No floor 6s. Go figure, of course.
671 viewers.
Uh,
Took it too far. That's why
I did not
Voltus
get
didn't
to.
get floor 6.
Last 9 or however didn't make it in time to save Voltas.
This is a really speed game. I agree.
I'm gonna be
What
so
is
lo-
Mystic Quest?
An even more mythical question than what is FF6 randomizer?
I'm following you guys downstairs, it seems.
Oh no. Yeah, Farrell's won, so that worked out for him, thankfully. We'll see what Voltus ends up with.
I like how the guy with the Pazuzu thing has got floor 2, by the way.
You were really only guaranteed 2 possibilities, floor 2 and floor 6, with that picture of yours.
Oh, man. Whoa, but Jenya and Farrell are basically tied right now. That's exciting.
I don't think Pharaoh should be ahead of me.
Yeah, I just started the fight.
Yeah, I was on floor 4 only. I still need to get to floor 5.
Oh. Alright.
Well, Pazuzu can kill you
So
too,
for-
just like
Oh yeah,
everybody.
Pazuzu can just easily kill me.
Well, every boss can.
Well, yeah. This is true.
Floor
I will
4 it
put-
is.
Need.
Floor 4 for Voltus, is that what you said?
Yep.
Oh.
I see.
Statistics, everybody. It's all false. It's all lies.
Just like the black belt drop.
Yeah, exactly. I remember getting a Phoenix down like 6 times in a row. It's good.
Too bad I had to switch before on floor 6, because if you talk to him
Yeah,
on floor
same.
4, you can go up to floor 5 or 6.
I actually don't know why I did that as well.
Yeah, I also did that this time for no reason.
And I think it's every 5 turns he does Psych Shield, and that if you use any magic on him after he does that, it reflects back at you and kills you.
Yeah, so after 5 turns, he'll do his first psych shield, and then from there it alternates. He turns it off and on every like 2, I want to say.
4.
Every 4. So as Boexel says, when it's up, you can't use magic on him because he'll reflect it back on you. So they'll usually take that time to heal and seed. And if they don't need to do that for whatever reason, then they'll use regular attacks. The other key too is usually Benjamin's super slow. So when you know the psych shield's going to come down, usually you'll do something safe with Kaylee, but you'll still have Benjamin cast. It looks like you had a really good fight, Farrell, or at least you didn't die.
It was.
Anyway,
I did not die.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for.
There's another jerk bird coming up, though.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
It's arguably even worse.
It definitely is, because he's got everything that Pazuzu does that's annoying, plus Doom Dance.
Plus
And
Doom
floor
Dance.
6.
and friends.
And friends.
And
yes.
friends, oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I think he has less HP, but everything else. And he has a glitched attack that does 1 damage, but that he's worse.
But basically now we're at kind of like a runaround point, getting a lot of story triggers done and setting up for the final dungeon. There will be one more like really, really small dungeon to do, but other than that, we're gearing up for the end here. There's one more part of the glitch that Farrell has already set up for, so he bought 0, was it cure potions?
Yes.
And then, which will set him up to underflow the whole row of inventory of either the second or third row. I think the third row. There it is. To get the story trigger to go. So basically, what you got to do is talk to the guy, get Ruben to join you, and then underflow. So it's basically like you're skipping the entire run around you would have had to do, so you can just move on directly. So for the most part, just about all of the game that has Ruben, you're skipping, except for this one dungeon here, which is the ship, which is really, really short.
Voltus also got floor 4.
Farrell had 1, Genya and Voltus had 4, yeah. Magus with 2.
How much of a difference
like-
between 4 and 2 is there? I forget if...
Not much, because 4 is the second worst, so you're
Okay.
probably only losing a couple of minutes. Which you can kind of tell, like both of them are in the same fight, even though their floors were quite different. So, looks like Farrell has a decent lead here with the other 3 all more or less right next to each other. Genya just finishing the fight.
I got this. I got the swag dragon claw kill.
Sick.
Nice. Nice.
And Magus about to finish the fight up as well.
Yeah. Wanted to kill him. This is the least time I've ever lost. Actually,
Wow.
on
I
a
don't
floor
know how to
2.
feel about that.
It's only 8 minutes. That's very good, actually.
It's the best, worst floor you've ever had.
The best worst floor ever, yes. It's only 8 minutes to floor 6.
Swaggin'
Believe
claw.
it or not, it is still, even though there's only 1 dungeon to go, it's still anybody's race, pretty much. Just
Wagon Claw Vol'jin, please.
because of another floor 6 coming up, especially.
It's very true. You can still get kind of trolled a little bit on the first 2 bosses of the last dungeon. Then you can definitely get owned a lot by RPG Jerkbird number 2 of the game. We already made mention he's actually worse.
Yeah, I did.
Is that because of the skip? Because I remember when FunkDoc used to run this, he said that Zoo was easier than Pazuzu.
Yeah, pretty much not having life is what it makes really,
Yeah.
really, really bad.
Oh, because of Doom Dance, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the addition of Doom Dance that changes everything, because once your companion gets Doom Danced, you're done.
Otherwise, Zoo is really easy, actually, yeah. But, you're basically dead if Phoebe dies.
My last 2 PBs, Phoebe has died. And I just got lucky with his psych shield coming up, that Benjamin would just go first, and I would kill him. It's ridiculously lucky.
No! No! Come on! And I died in the last turn.
Oh.
No.
Crit by tornado.
Oh.
Pazuzu. That RPG jerkbird.
I petrify on Kaylee and crit tornado on Benjamin.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Zoo's even worse in the Japanese version because he doesn't have his glitched psych shield attack.
Yeah, this is actually really, really bad there. He tends to spam Sky Attack and Doom Dance a lot more. And if people run this game on the US version, they know that he actually spams Doom Dance here as well a lot, but it's worse on the Japanese version. Way, way worse.
Oh man.
Farrell, are you skipping the
Of
Aegis
course.
shield? Oh, okay. Okay. Alright, my bad.
What a question.
What a question.
Yeah. How many extra fights
Nice,
do you have
double
to do you have to do to get the Aegis shield?
It's
One.
It's just one, but it's out of the way.
Yeah.
It's a minute time loss because of walking. You have to basically loop around the room once, which costs about 40 seconds, plus the 20 seconds of fighting and bombing.
Yeah. But if you get the shield, then Benjamin is immune to petrify, which
Yep.
Yeah.
several remaining bosses can do on you.
It's
And
more
enemies.
exciting this way.
If you say so.
Alright.
Are you guys getting it?
I'm not getting it. I need to. Hello, I'm in third place.
I'm
I
not-
need to make time up.
We all know
I
Jacob
can
is not
justify
getting
it.
Of course, I'm not getting it.
Jenya is the one who started this horrible trend.
Okay, so this is it. Farrell's gonna leave the ship here and enter the last dungeon of the game, which is basically a collection of all the other dungeons in a shorter way. And you're gonna fight versions of every boss, and that control you in different ways till we get to the end here. But we got Phoebe now. She is super powerful. We got all the good spells, except for life. And we're just gonna go through and see where the trolls lie. And it looks like literally no one's getting the Aegis shield, so we're gonna just be done with this room real quick here. This is the only fight of this floor here if he's not getting the shield, aside from the boss fight. But what he could have done is taken that first set of stairs all the way to the left and basically loop around the whole place to get to the bottom right corner to pick up that shield. But we're gonna save some time here. This boss should be easy. You can use life on it, and it'll insta-die. So you
You
basically
can use
just have to
exit
make
on him
sure-
too, I know.
Yeah. We just usually Phoebe should be the fastest, so we want to throw that, and then we want to flare here. And I was just about to say, actually, the one thing you just don't want to have happen is just have the ninjas own you real quick. But I mean, he's fine. He just lost a tiny bit of time there.
So it begins. That's how these
after-
type of things start.
Next, Pharaoh will be moving on to the ice pyramid portion of the dungeon, where he will fight the stone golem, which in theory should be just as easy as this last boss here that he just did. In theory.
In theory.
Finally.
God, Voltus were still on
God.
Pazuzu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I died twice in the last phase on
This
Pazuzu.
is
Oh
this is
man.
what MQ can do to you. He can just never let you go. Good yump.
Thank you.
The deal with this part of the dungeon is you gotta just hit a series of switches to open up all the rooms to be able to get to the boss. So, designed to be a little puzzly, I suppose. Except once you know the route, then you know exactly where to go.
Wax, I hope you can put in some awesome Doom Castle music.
Yeah, once maybe once Voltas gets in, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, sure.
It's only a 2.5 minute loop.
I think that's one thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. You probably want to say the same. I mean, even though this game is kind of flawed in some ways, but the music is just absolutely amazing.
It is pretty much exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, I figured.
Doom
That's one thing we can all agree on.
Self-destruct. Yeah. Alright.
Yeah, good fight. Good ninja fight.
Good fight.
For El Magus is very efficient of the ninjas.
Don't worry. Feral will get trolled by Zoo. We'll catch up.
I do not
It's all
doubt
good.
that.
Yeah, I know Genya was on pace to beat Magus's record at the time once, and then floor 6 happened.
Yeah. I think, and I guess everyone agrees that Zoo is the hardest part of the game in this speedrun setting. At least I think so. I think it is. I mean, it's stupid to say hardest because as we already mentioned, like every boss can troll you in its own individual way. But
Oh my god, what the heck? Wow.
I have never gotten
Good
petrified by
score,
Counter Strike
Rex.
before.
Oh
In
my
other words,
God.
that's never happened before.
That's the beautiful part of this game. I die in new ways every time I run this. Every time you turn on the game, some enemy is gonna find a new way to kill you. It's amazing.
Okay, so we have another theoretically simplistic boss here, just depending on how enemy turns and damage rolls go. Exit works on this boss, so all you gotta do is cast it real quick and hope that it hits. And it looks like you pretty much got the ideal fight there.
Yeah.
So
That's
next
what it was.
Pharaoh will be heading to the volcano equivalent, which we didn't do in the main game. Or earlier in the storyline, rather.
Skipping the volcano does skip one of the best enemy names to Hot Wings.
Literally, I don't even know what that segment of the game is like at all.
Those are the birds, right?
Yeah.
It's a good name. Whatever.
So basically, Voltuz is kind of just like a runaround dungeon. Like there's like 5 battles or something. There's almost no point to it except to just get the ship, pretty much, so you can take it over to the Doom Castle. There's really not much to say about that one. Let's see here. Jenya's going to be getting to Stone Golem soon. Magus not too far behind. And Feral is maybe like 2 and maybe 3 encounters away from the boss.
We are close to fighting Genya.
For the first time, for the last time. I like how this Dark King just stuffed the stone golem into this tiny little room, too, that he can't even fit through the door of.
So you can see Genya with not quite as good luck as Feral there, but he got the exit off. That's probably what counts the most. He is getting riddled, petrified rather. But luckily the dogs are weak to fire, so Benjamin can solo him. Feral's entering the Hydra fight here, or the Wyvern fight rather. The Wyvern fight. Let's go with
Wyvern.
The Wyvern.
Nice. Nice. Alright.
Fairly simplistic. You're gonna spam your arrow and white on him and try to keep your hit points up and hope you don't get crit, basically.
He does not like Phoebe.
I believe that's all he's called in the Japanese version too, is Wayu Barno.
Yeah, so I don't know, your typical trolling here is just how many rounds is it going to take you. You're not really in danger of dying, but...
Oh, you can die against him.
But
easily.
You can
If
die
you get
anywhere, but it's not quite as trolly as all that, maybe. Or maybe I'm just slower and safer, I don't know.
Oh my god.
I mean, if you didn't see the general trend, you can die anywhere. But as far as bosses are concerned...
Starting with the very first battle in the game, too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The fact that none of them did is pretty astounding.
I already died to the Minotaur, like the first battle, which you could just kill with life. Just because I missed life 3 times in a row, and Phoebe,
God.
like Katie
3 in a row?
Katie didn't have any magics left to cast life, so he just hit me.
Oh my god.
I see.
Can I
Good.
just...
Oh, good fight. Aegis Shield is already
Yeah,
biting me.
Good dog fight. Looks like both you and Magus had good dog fights right there. It looks like Voltuz is getting the Aegis Shield, so it's basically designed to prevent exactly what happened to Feral and Elmacus there. Because that makes Benjamin immune to petrify. So even if Phoebe gets petrified, he can either finish the battle out or heal her. But it does take an extra minute to get. And so it will take a number of deaths for skipping it to lose your time.
This is pretty much on par with my Doom Castle and PB. And that's not a good thing.
I was gonna say, wasn't it slow?
That's what, like 2 or 3 154s that have been denied by Doom Castle now.
If I wouldn't have died at all, I would have gotten a 152.
Ooh!
Oh my god. I like this game.
Oops.
I mean, this game death is only a minor setback.
Good job, Feral.
Yo, Aegis Shield would not have saved me from that. Okay.
Oh, it's
Classic
nice to see on
MQ.
my stream. I got crit I got crit by the fireball with Phoebe. You cannot do anything against that. If he crits you with the fireball, it does 1,500 damage. That's more than Phoebe has. So, rip.
Yep. Good times.
Yo, Jenny,
I don't know who
that.
thought
I
of the
heard
idea.
that Twin Head Wyvern is a free boss.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you're dying too.
So do you use the defend command on this boss then? 'Cause I know you do on the original, if you don't do the skip.
Yeah, but you cannot. You don't defend every turn. Like I did use defend once to save Phoebe because he was low health, but
Yeah.
you just cannot expect him.
Yeah,
to
defend
crit there.
basically means giving up your turn in order to make either yourself or your ally invincible for
Yeah.
that turn.
Ooh. I'll revive him.
Cool.
So it looks like Magus made up some time here because of that unfortunate death.
I'm not done with the fight, dude.
No, you made up some time though.
Alright, we got him. Now I made up some time.
Fair point.
I wish I could count to 5, so I wouldn't keep seeding when I have one wizard spell left. Oh,
It's pretty ironic that the Wyvern is actually the biggest reason I lost time in my PB. Fire. Yo!
Also, from here on, every battle and every enemy can petrify or like just paralyze, instantly kill you, whatever. So every fight
Why
is
it's such a great idea to skip the shield.
it is.
No, right? It's amazing.
Yeah, because I think you save about 40 seconds, but if you lose 2 battles because of getting petrified, that basically cancels that out.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have already lost enough time to make it not worth skipping.
Yeah. You're not even on Zoo, you should be by now.
It's the longest portion of like the redos too. Like way more encounters. All of them can kill you, which is so risky. But then it can pay off too, of course.
I hate this.
I missed it. Did Voltus have a clean fight?
It was okay.
Two.
Okay, let's see how Jerkbird 2 treats me.
Alright, this is it. The mechanics
Good
of the fighter pretty much the same. He'll psych shield on after the 4th turn instead of the 5th from the start of the fight, and then you're kind of following the same thing. You get to do more damage.
Good start.
But yeah, you gotta watch out for that Doom dance. Agreed.
And by watch out, he means just hope he doesn't do it, because there's nothing you
Yeah.
can do about it.
Exactly.
First turn Doom
Strong
dances are
start by
pretty
Fur-
amazing.
Alright.
Solid.
Good attempt. Round 2.
I tried.
You did try. You put
Uh,
your inputs in just like anybody else would, but he wasn't having it.
Oh man. So yeah, that was the glitched psych shield attack that only does 1 damage. Huh.
Yeah, it looks like your fight's going reasonably well now, though.
Oh, you say that. You say that, but
nice. Right as I saw that, I saw the Doom dance, and it missed, but I was like, oh, should not have said anything.
oh man. Guess I should have kept her on auto. Should die next turn. Please, please, please die.
Sounds good.
Oh. Come on, come Oh! The clutch.
Clutch.
That would have been such a crappy way to end that battle, or to lose that battle. Oh my god.
Like
But I did get that
Pharaoh's
swag.
resistant.
I did get the swag and claw kill, so.
It's not over yet.
The swag and
This is
claw.
true. This is true.
Oh man, stop killing Phoebe, please.
I have seen from personal experience the Benjamin going before everybody. That was fun.
Alright.
I should take Phoebe off of auto.
So
Probably.
I definitely saved time by skipping the egg shield. I didn't get petrified once, I think.
Nice. I lost a minute and a half.
Yeah, you caught
Stop.
up big time. I got owned pretty hard, but just like regularly. Like, I don't think Jaeger Shield lost me any time.
We'll explain what he's actually doing to the Dark King after he's done.
Ugh.
What a okay. Oh. Well, that's not a. I don't know. Oh. No. Oh yeah, you're fine.
Could have been.
Wow.
Could've been bad,
He
but-
oh my god. Zoo
Yeah, like-
literally.
That could have been bad. GG for.
Alright, we'll call that 206.45.
Is that a PB?
Oh yeah, sorry. I didn't call time. I did PB by a minute and a half.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, my PB had a floor 4, so like. Yeah.
Good job, Farrell. Good job.
GG.
Thank you. Good
Nice,
luck
man.
to you guys for the zoo
Does
fight.
one of you want to explain the cure strat then?
Yo.
I don't understand it, so that will have to be someone else.
I'm probably in the same boat, more or less, because I mean, Kier is meant to do damage to him, but it only works with Benjamin. I don't know. But when you do a bunch of damage with it and you defend with Phoebe the first round, so basically Benjamin doesn't get hit.
I know it has something to do with like his resistance to cure being so high that it can cause an overflow, I think is how I heard it
Yeah.
explained before.
And then he takes that damage, and then you heal him with Phoebe, and that's supposed to basically like overflow him to his next phase. And then from there, you can just kill him off with the cure. But why the cure works, I don't quite understand. If whenever the other two are free, if they want to chime in, other three rather.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand how it works. Here you go, Dragon
Alright.
Dark.
Get it.
As always, knows everything about
Yeah.
every game.
Making it sound like the elixir overflow glitch in Chrono Trigger then where you're giving him more HP than the game's
It's time for
programmed
me.
to handle. It's time?
Yep.
Okay, 208.30.
No, still okay.
GG,
Hey,
Genya.
GG, Genya. I almost called you Genuine.
That would have been a good name, but Kappa is also good.
Yeah, my zoo fight was like insane. He literally used Psych Shield 6 times in a row.
Yeah. He gained like a
Nice.
minute on me on this whole section.
I'm not even kidding. That was pretty sick zoo fight.
Alright. And time.
Okay, 209.14.
That's cool for floor 2. I'm not gonna
That's
lie.
pretty good,
That's okay.
Yeah, that's.
Is that a floor
Yeah.
2 PB?
No, my floor 2 PB is 204.
Mm.
GG, Magus.
GG, Magus? Magus floor 2?
Yeah.
Floor 2.
What can you do? If I wouldn't have botched Ice Golem, I would have been closer. But alas, I lost 2 minutes on Ice Golem. Rip. Oh.
So was it Pazuzu that kind of wrecked Volta's the hardest, or were there other places too? I'm trying
Yeah, I
to...
also died 3 times to Twined Hydra or
Mm.
Wyvern.
Ugh. Yeah, that's rough.
This is one of the worst runs I've ever had. I guess since that manipulation thing.
Oh,
comes
worse?
out.
You mean worse than the one where you got floor 6 but then didn't hit the switch? I remember seeing that one.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
ouch.
Just talked to Pazuzu and down the switch before. It was a glorious run. But I mean, time-wise, it's one of the worst runs I've ever had so far. Since we figure out about this new manipulation thing and dupe stuff.
I'll get the times up on the layout.
Let me actually see if I have a like an emulator save state somewhere to show off the Genscape. I mean, there's still some time.
So I actually don't know how often I died in this run. I died twice to the ice crab. I died 1 to ice golem. I died twice to Ghidra. I died
Oh
to
my god.
Dulahan. Died twice to Pazuzu. I died on the boat, I guess.
I think this is a good save state. Anyway, I made a save state for buying the cure potions. Oh wait, actually, I need to do this the legit way. How do I do this? Oh wait, I need to...
Good trick.
forget how to do.
Get rid of all
Good,
bombs.
good
first.
demo. Good demo of the Genscape.
This is demo play. I got room already. Okay.
Bring back demo play.
You do have scale on, or figure, rather.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah. I don't even know what it means. All I see is lots of yellow.
Huh, I can't load any video.
Yeah, Puexel's kind of hard to read.
Yeah, I realized that after the circle around the ship expanded
Oh yeah,
out.
that's right. I probably shouldn't have.
Good
shouldn't have
job,
done
man.
that. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's something you control. It's been
Oh,
so
yeah,
long
yeah.
since I played this. I don't actually remember the.
The
handle.
oval will stay there as long until you hit a button.
Mm.
And you can't bring it back, right?
You cannot.
The boogie continues.
Ultras Boogie.
Actually, gonna make.
Here we go. Farrell got the win for us. Good job.
Brought it home.
Good job.
That looks like Rern.
V-Rank.
Yeah.
Yes. Shoutouts as always to Carrie Fry for those two logos.
Let's see if we can. There we go.
see how the zoo's going.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything.
Ooh, the dance.
That's how it's going. Ugh.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna die here.
Multi is getting trolled so hard, man. Oh, he's so close too.
Oh, he's gonna be for me. So
Yeah, so close.
it looks like my Pazuzu fight actually that was about the same.
Ah, man.
Rain.
The game's over. Yeah.
Yeah, it was over here.
Rafts.
Alright. That's pretty much how
So
these
when
things can go.
Oh yeah.
It's like the one marathon run I did was probably the worst run I ever had. I got 4-2 and it took for like ever. Like I got a 230 something in that run. That's how it just goes sometimes. Granted, I did have to show off Firework, but
As I said, I guess I died 15 times in this run.
It's a lot. It's a lot of deaths.
Did you already show the Jin skip, Jenya, or? Were you...
No, I wanted to wait until.
Oh,
Voltus
until you beat
finished.
Zoo. Yeah, good call.
And also I fall down in the ice pyramid because why reasons I don't know.
For swag. You don't care about gravity showing off. I like it.
Dang, level 23.
Alright, we made it.
From this point, it's about 1 minute 40
Yeah,
seconds.
I don't know if it was mentioned that after you kill Zoo, it's somewhat faster to jump off on purpose than to actually go all the way back to the entrance of Zoo's floor.
yeah, it's kind of interesting. Depending on where you fall down, you land on in different areas. I still have to test a couple of things while falling down there. I suspect that one spot might be faster, but I would have to time it.
Does that mean you're gonna keep playing this game?
I will go back to this game. It's not dead yet, but I need a break.
You need a break, right? I
Break for
know.
your sanity.
I know. Alright. Let's get those cures off. Yeah, defend has this weird thing where whoever you're defending doesn't get targeted, basically, even when in AoE. So if,
Yeah, it's
you know-
really weird.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
It's
The defending player just takes all the damage for the team.
Yeah, it's just like draw attack, basically. Yeah.
And time.
Alright, 218.40.
GG.
GG.
GG will twos.
Oh man, that's 14 minutes lower than my PB.
Yeah. As we already said, this game can do anything to everyone. So really...
I was
Except you have
13
floor
minutes
6,
behind.
apparently, because none of you got it.
That's pretty surprising, actually.
I think-
Usually. Actually, wait. No, usually Bic gets floor 6, right? Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
that goes.
That's
yeah,
why.
yeah.
Alright.
Because we didn't have Bic.
If it were a 5-person race, I would have gotten it for sure.
Let's see what the probability of no one getting it is.
It's 4 to 5 for one to get it. So that's like what?
It's 40% for no one to get it. That's not right.
That can't be right. Yeah. For no one to get it, it should be like what, 20%?
No.
Good race, guys. It probably was not fun for you, but I think it was fun for everybody else.
Actually, it was alright. It was alright. We
It was
like-
close until the very end. Like,
the worst thing that can happen in these type of races is that somebody does not get trolled at all, and like the other players keep getting trolled and trolled and trolled. But I mean, Volta's got
As
extremely
in like
trolled.
3 or 4
but-
deaths to the behemoth, and then you actually have to continue the run after that.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like if at the start you died a behemoth like 4 times, and then you died the Flameless Rex, and then the race is kind of But we all had an okay start.
Yeah, I think it was 3 of you at one point were all in roughly the same part of the tree at one point.
Yeah. So that's definitely a good race. Cannot complain.
Yeah, the game was reasonably fair.
Yeah, it actually
Except-
was. Except Voltus.
Yeah.
True.
And Floor
That
2.
was okay. It was okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised I only lost 8 minutes to floor 2. That's actually pretty good.
You're a beast, obviously.
Okay, finally my follow list is loading, seeing if I can find us a raid target.
yeah, I'm just gonna really quickly just show off the glitch, like just very quickly. It's just not long. So this is in the. I think it's a little bit fun to do and fun to watch. I don't know if I can do it right now, still, but I think I should be fine. So you prepare this by going like back in the days when we didn't know like how to buy zero seats. We had to do all this stuff, so we went to the whole mine and the whole volcano section. And interestingly enough, if you have 0 bombs, so you have to use the preparation for this is that you use up all your bombs. And basically, if you have 0 bombs, the game lets you kind of mimic the last action you performed on the map. Pazuzu, please. All right. So, anyways, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go down the elevator here with 0 bombs, and then we can do this. I think it's from here on. No, that was wrong. That's why I made a save state because I didn't know where to go. It was right here. Okay, it was on this side. So you can just go here and mimic these actions, and even more interestingly enough, if you can go to the next boss, which is the Jin. Since you used to have to fight this one as well, so just gonna quickly fight these 2 enemies, and you can actually completely bypass the entire boss. And this is basically what we used to do before we discovered this.
I know there's
think-
there's some other silly stuff you can do with the same glitch too, because I think what it's basically doing is it's like redoing the last like action that Benjamin did, which if you're doing it for the skip, you're like going down an elevator basically when there isn't actually an elevator there. But you can also do
Just
it
like
to shrug on command too. I know.
Yeah, that's the best. Is
Speaking of
infinite
which,
shrugging.
So just do this, and then you're on top of here, and then you can just go on. I think it's pretty neat glitch, and it's pretty sad that it's not being shown off, but it's actually pretty funny.
It's too
That's all I
bad
wanted
that
to say.
the mine is basically the only dungeon with a mechanic in it. Like like the lifts.
Yeah, sadly it doesn't carry over. Like it stays on one screen, and if you screen transition, you lose it. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like we have been planning around. Like if we could take it over, we could have done some really funky stuff in this game. But sadly, we can't. Because
If
there's
you
like
could drop outside of the mine, you could go to the Doom Castle entrance to the Dark
exactly.
Tree. But unfortunately, all the walls are solid and such, and you can't drop down there anymore.
Yeah.
So
All right. Good race, y'all. Good race.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
times.
good race, everybody.
Good job.
sadly, it looks like Twitch is having